Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and to Uncompleted Comic Book Collection series, where I go through my comic book stash I love but never fully finished. These comics were actually given to me back in 2008 by a boy, and honestly comic books were always my favorite kind of gift. So let's get started. Today we're diving into SoulFire, starting right at the beginning. We begin with SoulFire 0, Issue 0, first print, Canadian edition. This issue opens with the day the magic died. It's a powerful prelude that immediately pulls you in. We're told that magic once existed everywhere, but something terrible happened. We're introduced to the villain, Rainier, and we learn that he infected the innocence of the dragons. What makes this issue so effective is that it doesn't tell you how, when, or why he did it. That mystery hooks you instantly and makes it a perfect prelude. Next, we move on to SoulFire Dying of the Light, issue 0. Right from the first page, we were given the history of the Ratumi creatures created by the touch of the gods in the middle of Embryo the First. This is how magic was passed down, to the creatures of the land. We meet Grace, one of the Ratumi, and learn about the mark on her back that allows her to soar through the skies. But there's already trouble. Her kind is suffering from what appears to be a mysterious sickness, and even her hand has it. Once again, the story leaves us with more questions than answers. That's exactly why it works. Now, we move on to Dying of the Light, issue number 1. We're introduced to the kingdoms of the Ratumi and the Sithori, along with the new characters like Drex, Frey, Troy, Nala. Faye is sick, and the group goes to see the king, who takes her in for better care, supposedly. But things don't sit right. Troy has already been there for 8 days with no answers. Nala and Dex confront the king while Grace arrives asking about her aunt's condition. Then we finally see Rainier in action, infecting a dragon. And at that point, you have to keep reading. In issue number 2, the group escapes. Troy, Faye flee with Dex and Nala and Grace, and they meet another prisoner named Steph who claims he can lead them to Iran, the dragon on the mountain. Meanwhile, Rainier is using an infected dragon to control others. The king is nearly assassinated. Grace is attacked by dragons. Troy becomes sick, and the king calls for war. Everything begins to spiral out of control. That brings us to issue number 3. We learn that Rainier staged the assassination attempt to ignite the war. Grace group finally reaches Iran, who reveals the truth. The light has died, magic is fading, and existence does not move in a straight line, but in cycles. The world is passing from its age of magic into something darker. No one will be spared. Rainier appears at the battlefield, and stakes couldn't be more higher. In issue number 4, we meet Halifax, the dragon, and her daughter Dandelion. Halifax is dying because magic itself is dying. Grace still holds on to hope, and when she returns to Arcadia, she finds Rainier infecting the dragons and attacking the city, taking full advantage of the chaos. Then we reach issue number 5, the conclusion of Dying of the Light. It opens with an intense battle between Grace and Rainier. He tells her the grave falls upon them and that his reign has begun. He reveals that he has infected one of her dragons, Mooncrest. Rainier escapes. The Ratami and the Sithor bond, and Grace explains the truth. This was never a sickness. It was the end of magic. The arc ends with Grace losing her wings. And fun fact, issue number 5 includes an oops page because a battle scene from issue 4 was accidentally left out. Next, we move on to Aspen Showcase Grace. I was very happy to have this because there was 4 covers, and right away we're told that Grace has lived for centuries and that she is all that remains. We see her during the Crusades in 1774, later during the Holocaust, and then in Hawaii in 2210. The artwork here is absolutely beautiful. We learn how Grace struggled after losing her wings, how she retained traces of magic, and how she lost everyone she ever cared about. A monk appears, and Grace tells him that 2 boys will rise, one destined to bring back the age of magic, while Rainier will return to destroy them both. She reveals that her wings have returned, somehow in an incredible important moment that leads us into SoulFire number 1. In 2007, dragon bones were discovered by someone working for Rainier Industries. Yes, that's right, Rainier. The story then jumps far into the future to the Bay Area. In August 2211, a dragon appears and we meet Malachi, or Mal, who is attacked by a winged woman in an arcade. She drops him from the sky twice until Grace saves him and asks him to come with her. In SoulFire number 2, Mel finally agrees to go with Grace after 2 near-death experiences. We meet PJ and the assassin chasing Mel, which is Onyx. She backs off and she's not paid enough to fight Grace. They escape to Hawaii on the dragon, and Onyx reports back to Rainier that Grace has returned. In issue number 3, Rainier sends another assassin, Abel, who uses drones instead of brute force. Mel ends up in a battle pit. Grace introduces Benoist, and we learn that Rainier is now president of Rainier Industries. There's a cliffhanger. In issue number 4, Abel attacks the boat. Mel drowns and is revived by Benoist, and his glowing eyes reveal that he has magic. They arrive in Hawaii and are greeted by a ceremony. And that's where my collection stops. So yeah, that's how many issues I still need to finish with SoulFire storyline. This concludes part 3 of the uncompleted comic book collection. Stay tuned for part 4, where we jump into Marvel Comics. And for now, let's put SoulFire away in a nice, quiet SMR moment. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.